graduates complete Bahamas Leadership Development Program. We'll bring you all the details, so stay tuned.
Find out the latest from BEC. And Bahamians flock to the battle for Atlantis for a key matchup. We'll tell you all about it. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, live on the ZNS Network. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Thanks so much for tuning in. Government officials have gone on record to state their displeasure with Bahama officials following the recent firing of some 190 employees without notice. Tonight, Janae Noel Ferguson tells us that a top executive said they're complying with measures implemented by the government.
Just as every other Bahamian company and every other business in the Bahamas, how to provide national insurance with information once it's requested, Bahama has to do the same thing.
Labor Minister Shane Gibson told reporters earlier this week that Bahama officials had 7 days to provide them with the necessary information on those terminations, or further action will be taken in accordance with the National Insurance Act. At the time when the workers were disengaged, it was reported that the late opening of the hotel, along with the completion of several graduating classes, clogged the system, where Bahama reportedly found itself having to pay salaries for employees yet to work in a new resort. Is it a situation where it was either bring on these persons or let those 190 go?
The two are not connected.
But what was the reason for that layoff?
We will provide the information to the Ministry of Labor in time.
The Bahama executive claims that the 350 LDI students that graduated Wednesday will become employed eventually at the resort. So these persons who are graduating today, they start right away?
Not right away, but a number of them have already started, and we will make commitments for them as we go forward.
Now, what are they doing in the interim? Do they wait on a call, or how does that work?
No. We put a significant amount of them to work already. And we will put these to work as all of the graduates will be put to work almost immediately.
He also clarified information regarding the 5,000 jobs promised by the company.
The 5,000 number is a stabilized number. That's not the number on day one. I want to make that clear. But what you saw today is a manifestation of the opportunities that Bahama is bringing to the fore in tourism.
And as Chinese investors have also branched out by buying the British Colonial Hotel, Mr. Sands isn't concerned about the competition.
There are no conflicts with Bahama, certainly, and we can't speak for other investments in the country. But certainly investment in tourism is good. And certainly investment from China or the Far East is good. But because it brings to the market an international market that was heretofore never present in the Bahamas.
Meanwhile, Sands is optimistic that the resort will open by spring of 2015. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Well, as we mentioned in Janae's report, 350 young people graduated from the Bahama Leadership Development Institute today, bringing the total figures for the Bahama Academy to 650. Bahama CEO Sarkis Million told graduates that their service must be better than competitors globally to make Bahama the #1 resort in the region.
Every day, 365 days of the year, rain or shine, happy or sad, our job is to make sure our guests smile and forget about all their problems. And more importantly, forget about all these other destinations. So how we do that? Well, we use our core values. We pay exacting attention to details. We create emotional connections with our guests. And we care deeply. However, these are not simply words. They are what you need to do every second of your job. They are what will allow you to own the wow.
Bahamar has also partnered with the Best Buddy program. It's an organization geared toward providing job opportunities for persons with physical and intellectual disabilities. 5 participants from the Best Buddy program graduated from Bahamar's LDI today. One of them was Ashanti Roll, who had a bone marrow transplant but still has challenges. Her story brought tears to today's event. Ms. Roll says Bahamar has given her an opportunity of a lifetime as she was recently appointed as uniforms coordinator.
My family didn't give up on me. Family come in all different shapes and sizes. But there is no good love like my family. I'm the prom student of class consistency.
In labor news this Wednesday, Bahamas Electricity Corporation employees still on work to rule. Bahamas Electrical Workers Union President Paul Maynard informing ZNS News this afternoon that union officials were summoned to attend a meeting at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning with the Minister and Director of Labor. At issue is the pending approval from BEC Chairman Leslie Miller of the staff's 6-year industrial agreement. Maynard explained to reporters yesterday that there are no changes to the industrial agreement that they want retroactive to 2012. Employees have kept the same contract and have not received a raise in 6 years. While residents across New Providence were left in dark, in some cases for hours Monday night, frequent blackouts still remains a contentious issue for many. But there are some who aren't so concerned. Well, RCS Adelaide spoke with several consumers to shed light on their reaction.
BEC customers irate today following Monday's widespread blackouts that affected various communities in the capital most of Monday and into Tuesday morning. While BEC's official explanation is a failure at its Clifton power plant, residents are still upset that the normally reliable winter period is starting to look a lot like last summer's black and brownouts. We took our cameras to the streets to get feedback from customers who say enough is enough.
BEC service stinks. Last night my current was off from 2:30 yesterday and it didn't come on until 4 this morning. I think it's ridiculous. We're paying light bill every month and we're not getting the service.
I had a problem for an hour or two. Some stuff had to be connected. It's very inconvenient.
I didn't like what happened last night, right in the middle of what we were doing. We had the computers on, and everything went black. That's not good. Because you could, when you come back on with the spike, you never know what you could lose.
I don't think it's fair because if you don't pay the bill, they cut it off. If you pay the bill, or you put something on the bill, you still get disconnected. So what do they want you to do?
Despite the official company position of a failure, some residents weren't buying it and gave reasons that range from poor service to the ongoing contract dispute. For those who pay their bills on time, yesterday's outages is not sitting well.
I think that the BEC employees are being very selfish. The country on a whole is going through an economic downturn. And why do BEC employees feel as though they are so special than other government employees? Everybody's giving service to the country, and I think they need to be more considerate and work with the chairman, and the chairman work with them.
No, look, I do better than that. I go in, I got to pay my light bill, and then decrease, and I get no cover. So what I do? Pay for something that I have no use on.
I feel as though they're holding the public hostage, which it shouldn't happen. If they got a dispute with the union have a dispute with the chairman, they should solve it in a different manner.
We, as a people, need to think if we are doing things of the effect it would have on the lives of other persons.
The complaints didn't stop there. Many took their concerns online and the reviews were just as brutal. Company officials say the issue at the Clifton plant has been resolved and that residents can expect a much smoother delivery of power in the days to come. One thing is certain, if the company fails to meet the demand, residents will once again let their voices be heard. Siaska Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Well, President of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employees Confederation, Edison Sumner, says industrial action by the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union will hurt Bahamians and the business community. His comments came in response to comments made by Union President Paul Maynard, who suggested if the dispute over an industrial agreement between the union and BEC Chairman Leslie Miller is not resolved, Bahamians could face a Black Christmas. Mr. Maynard later said there are no plans for sabotage, but Sumner says any industrial action at this time will adversely impact the economy.
Today is less than 4 weeks away. most of the businesses in this country make the majority of their revenue during the season of the year. If you're going to have interruptions in power supply, you're going to have blackouts. That's going to affect literally every sector of business in this country, right? And if businesses can't operate because they have no electricity, they've got no power, they can't operate the stores, they can't operate their cash machines, they can't operate the POS systems, etc., businesses are going to be closing, right? And they're going to lose revenue.
Sumner believes both the union and BEC's management must come together again with an open mind and be willing to negotiate.
To do this now, it's not going to be beneficial, we think, to have industrial action this time around. It's not going to benefit the workers. In fact, it may even exacerbate the situation further for them. We encourage the union, the president, the union members, the management, get back to the boardroom, right? And it's also speaking to the management of BEC as well, right? You can't be so hard-lined and so fastened to a position that you're not prepared to compromise and to meet at least halfway.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Ultra Low Sulfur Diesel.